Climate change is reshaping our planet. Rising sea surface temperatures and increasingly severe extreme weather events are disrupting primary sectors like agriculture, forestry, and fisheries. But what does this mean for the livelihoods of small-scale fishers? Today, we speak with PhD Elena Ojea to explore the economic, social, and ecological impacts of climate change on fisheries. Let's dive in.
Well, good morning, Elena. Thank you so much for being here and for collaborating with the FARCLIMATE project. FARCLIMATE's primary goal is to achieve the resilience of the primary sector, especially in the actual context of climate change. Elena Ojea is the lead researcher of the Future Ocean Lab group from the Tiemann University of Vigo in Spain, and is one of the top scientific contributors to the topic of the effects of climate change in small-scale fisheries. So we are here with you, Elena, to ask you the following question. What do you consider are the main effects of climate change on small-scale fisheries?
Well, climate change is impacting small-scale fisheries everywhere in the world and also in Europe. Small-scale fisheries are being affected in three dimensions: the ecological dimension, the social, and the economic. Ecologically, we are seeing that target species are shifting towards colder waters. So sometimes they are not anymore in the fishing areas, or there's a decrease in productivity in fishing areas. We're also seeing changes in seasonality. Some species are arriving before, or they are reproducing in different timing as before, which also affects the resources and the activity. And also, we do have new invasive species that sometimes have positive impacts, but most of the time have negative impacts because they affect important target species that add more cold water affinity and are being replaced. In terms of the economic impacts, of climate change in fisheries, we're seeing changes in the productivity of the fisheries because of these changes in the resource. So fishers are spending more time at the sea, fishing less. It's more difficult to fish the same amounts with the same effort. We are also seeing more risk at the sea because of the extreme events that climate change is causing. We are seeing that fishers have more days where they cannot access the sea, and also if they do, they are facing more risks because of these extreme events like waves and storms. Another economic impact that we have is changes in access to the resources, and mainly because fishers have access to different areas, and because of the ecological impacts and the shifts in species distribution, they may not be able to follow the fish. So that's a problem that small-scale fishers are encountering, especially sessile fishers. Fishers targeting sessile species that are attached to a territory. Finally, the social impacts that we are seeing are also very important and are a consequence of these other impacts. Mainly, many fishers have to exit the fishery or change their target species. Some fishers are able to do this because they have economic and social support, but other fishers are not able to do this, and they enter what we call a poverty trap, which means that they cannot escape the activity being not profitable. Another social impact is the lack of the loss of ecological and local knowledge related to the sea. Fishing for small-scale fisheries, it's a long-standing tradition of interactions between nature and human populations with local traditional knowledge that has built over time. And climate change is threatening this local knowledge, which is very important to be connected and sustainably managing and using our oceans. And finally, another social impact, which is related to all of this, would be the loss of cultural identity, which we also in Europe have many cases of regions that are hugely and strongly attached to the fishing of small-scale fishers, and climate change is threatening that cultural identity and values as well.
Okay, thank you.
The effects of climate change are a growing threat to small-scale fishers. From disrupted ecosystems to economic uncertainty, the challenges are immense. But by managing these impacts and adapting to this new reality, we can work towards the sustainability of the sector. Do you really know the effect of climate change on fisheries? Be part of the FARCLIMATE project. Join the FARCLIMATE project to foster sustainable change and build a greener future. Visit FARCLIMATE website to learn more and take action today.